Hello, welcome to a special edition of the best podcast around, back of the net. We're back after a great summer. Season's upon us. First game tomorrow. And what better people to bring them are three boys. Amit, Hass, Nick. Introduce yourselves, boys.
What's happening, everyone? I'm Amit, as you can see at the bottom there. And I'm not going to keep it quiet. I'm going to say it loud and proud. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm looking forward to this season.
Hasib or Hass, Arsenal fan as well, loud and proud like Amit as well, and obviously Matt, the host.
I'm Nick, and I'm a United fan, and I'm unfortunately surrounded by three Gooners, so this is going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Listen, I know Nick's ready, you know. Nick's ready.
I'm not ready, bro. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Nah, listen, I'm not going to go ham on anyone, but listen. Obviously, transfer window's on. Let's just talk business, transfer business. Each of you, who do you think? I'll finish off after you guys. Who do you think has had the best transfer business so far?
For me, I'm not even being biased because I think Arsenal have had a fantastic summer, along with Spurs. Actually, I think Spurs have had a really good summer as well. In terms of Arsenal, I think we addressed weaknesses in our team. Although there's a little while to go and hopefully a couple of more signings to come in. But for now, I think we've addressed areas. Well, the biggest area I think we addressed was our centre forward position. Bringing in Gabriel Jesus is a massive coup for us. And I think that is a massive. I think it's a massive improvement on how we've been going on in the window because let's face it, the last few seasons we haven't been prepared for the season before it starts. So now I think we've got a good team in place, ready for Palace, and our window has set us up nicely. But I know there's a way to go. But for now, I think Arsenal have had the best transfer window next to Spurs.
Sure. What are you thinking, Hass?
Probably, I would say the same. Arsenal have had the best window in terms of everyone they've bought in is roughly of the age of about 25, so it's quite youthful players that we're bringing in, and every player that is brought in is quite complementary to the actual players that we already have in the team, if that makes sense. I still think we're one or two signings off maybe challenging top four. Maybe at least one signing. I would like to see Tielemans come in on deadline day, but I'm very, very happy with what Arsenal's done. And in comparison to even the bigger clubs, we have bought in really, really well. So yeah, I'm happy.
So before we get to Nick, so you're saying Tielemans? So Arsenal, you think Arsenal would you rather anyway get Tielemans over a winger? Because I mean,
ideally, shall I be honest with you? It seems like this season and even last season as well that a lot of the money that we're spending is obviously clearly backed by the owners, and I feel like we could even possibly get two of them. I think we could even get two signings, but I would like Tielemans purely because of his Premier League experience and where he plays in centre midfield. I mean, it would be nice to have a winger as well, but I'll prefer Tielemans in my opinion anyway. It's proven signings. What we've got is proven Premier League players that we're buying in. So I'm really, really happy with that.
Mr. Nick, Frankie de Jong, brother. I don't know.
No, I don't even want to talk about that, bro. Yeah, I'll go on about that in a minute. But I think Spurs. So what's that?
You don't want to come, but don't want to carry on.
No, I think Spurs. I agree with the boys actually. I think Spurs and Arsenal have had the best windows, but I think Spurs have pipped it for me. I mean, they've done their business quite early as well. You know, Basuma, Richarlison, Spence. A few more as well. I think they've got Perisic as well. So I think they've got some really good signings in, and they've quietly gone about their business. It's not been like too loud. It's just been done. Like for example, with Man United, all this noise around transfers all the time. Tottenham, and same with Arsenal. They've just kind of got things done as well. I think Spurs are going to be very, very dangerous this year. I think they're going to really push for top three, maybe third place. But I think Spurs, Arsenal, but I think if United do get Frankie de Jong across the line, it could be a decent window for us because I'm happy with the few
Mm.
players we've got. But
Mm.
the player that we needed, that midfielder since the start, I know Eriksen's a midfielder as well, but he's more attacking. I think we need Frankie. And if it doesn't happen and he stays at Barca or he goes to Chelsea, what I'm hearing, it's going to be a joke. I mean, we spent now, a couple of months on this main signing and it's still not happened. And, you know, the season's starting. So I think United are close to having a good window, but we just need to get Frankie in or Neves maybe. I don't know if he'd fit the bill, but we just need someone in because I do not want to be seeing every week Fred, McTominay, especially McTominay. That guy does my head in, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. He works hard. He plays for the badge and he's dedicated to the cause, but he's not United quality. I'm sure Arsenal, you've had a couple of players over the last few years that worked hard, but they just haven't had the quality. They need to be on the bench. They need to be squad players that come on like League Cup matches and stuff. But I think Spurs and Arsenal, and probably been the two best in the window. I think.
For me, do you know what? And this is not just because I'm an Arsenal fan. Before people listening or watching this will be like, "Oh yeah, he's being all fun because I'm an Arsenal fan." I'm not that amazed by Spurs' window, and I'll tell you why. They signed Fraser Forster, number 2, right, to Lloris. Jed Spence, who I don't think will start games. He'll probably come on a couple of cup games, and as the season goes on, might come on every now and then. I think Bissouma's a fantastic signing. I don't dispute that. Richarlison, I think for what 50 was it 50 mil or 60 mil?
60. I think.
About that. Yeah.
I just think that's ridiculous. I don't think he's that good. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And they signed someone else. Who's the other one I'm trying to think of? They signed someone else. Perisic, who? Listen, I like Perisic. I do. I just feel like, I might be wrong, but with age, come from Serie A, this league eats people up. We see it. It eats people up. And if they try and play him at that left wing back, you're playing in a league that is quick, strong. You can get away with it, in Serie A. But listen, this league's got some fullbacks that will clamp you, bro. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, I think Arsenal are a great window. I just feel like Chelsea will finish it on a high. There's no way Chelsea are going to allow themselves not to sign a number 9. They have to.
I think with Chelsea, I think like Nick said, I think they're doing it quite, because we expect them to always do something, So when they do it, it's like, oh, yeah, okay. But if you really look at they're saying Koulibaly. I know he's not the Koulibaly of a few years ago when everyone was after him, 100 million, whatever it was. But he's not washed. He's still got a long way to go before he becomes a poor defender. You know what I mean? Like he's still a Champions League quality defender, and they needed it. Again, it's addressing what it is. It's not just strengthening their squad; it's addressing issues in the squad. So that's what they need to do. They have the lack of centre backs. So they went and signed Koulibaly. I think like people almost forgot about him in a sense because nobody was after him after that year when Napoli wanted. I don't know how much it was for him. So people sort of left it. Oh, he's not going to leave. But now Chelsea thought, you know what? It's a chance to sneak in and get him. How old is he now? I think he's 31.
31, 32, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's this day and age, 31 for a professional footballer is not old. He's not old. The way they look after themselves. Look at Thiago Silva.
What is he? 37?
4 years old, and he's going strong. Do you know what I mean? Like he can really, like Koulibaly is a fantastic signing, and let's not forget they did sign Raheem Sterling as well. Let's not forget that because and at Snip, by the way, I think they got him at a really good deal. And is he going to be good at Chelsea? Yes, because the way they play, I think suits him. And but hopefully, but as coming from an Arsenal fans' perspective, he doesn't fit in very well, and they'll struggle. But they won't because Chelsea will always pull it at the bag because they're a quality team. And they've already got quality in that squad. They just added to the squad with Raheem and Koulibaly. They're going to be strong. They've had a good window as well.
No, I agree. Like, I saw the Koulibaly one, and I think I messaged you, and I was saying, I think he's a bit older. But the more you look at it, him, Thiago Silva at the back, Chalobah will be learning from them too. And you're going to have James Chilwell and possibly Cucurella. That back line looks mad.
I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That back line looks mad. And you put in front. Now, I think they're good. But Arsenal have had a great window. I think I'm just trying to be one of my Arsenal fans that are like, yeah, we're just all right. Like, I'm fed up of gassing it up. And they're just
gas it up. You know why? Because because the way Arsenal have approached it is the right. It's the way we wanted it for after so long. And the way they've done, we need a player for this position. And like like when we signed Pepe, we didn't need a Pepe at the time.
That's true.
The last thing we needed a centre back. We needed defenders. We needed defensive midfielders. When we signed a £72 million winger, and all the fans were like, wait, hold on, wait, we didn't even need him. Yeah, don't do that. You can't do that. No. You can't do that no more. But now, look, we needed a centre forward. Like, look, and people think, oh, how did Arsenal pull off getting Jesus? But if you look at Arteta's their plans they've had, they said Jesus was a 7-month plan. It was already in the works. Zinchenko was a 5-month plan. So these things are already in. That's what I like about Arsenal at the moment. They seem organized and they seem to have a plan and a direction. And because they're executing it so well, that makes me excited. That makes me feel like, okay, the window always looks good when you achieve your targets. It's nice. And like, when we allegedly went for Rafinha, from what I hear, it was an inquiry. It was just like, oh, you know what? If he's available, what's going on? If we can try.
What about Martinez?
Yeah, even a Martinez one. I think I don't know how much United paid for him at the end. I think
60 million with Adams, I think. So quite a lot of money to put.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. Let's be real. That's a lot of money. But when Arsenal were in for him or were interested in him, initially they were quoted 24 million.
Yeah, it's mad.
And look at that. You paid more than double now.
Man United tax, bro. Whenever we're going for players, man, it's ridiculous money.
United tax, of course.
And
you know
it's
what?
Premier League tax as well. It's not just Man United. But a lot of Premier League clubs. Because I know we've got money, they'll just charge us double. Right,
exactly. But he's going to be a good signing. He's a good player. That's the reason why all these clubs wanted him. You don't just go for anyone just for the sake of it. But I think Lisandro Martinez going to United, it made sense to me, more sense than it would have at Arsenal, because you're playing for a manager you played for before. I think he'll be played more regularly in his preferred position, which I think is centre back. And at Arsenal, we've got decent, we're good enough centre backs, but we don't even need him there. We wanted him at left back. He wants to be or even a defensive midfielder on occasion. But for United, I think they needed a solid centre back to really shore up that. To shore up that defense. You know what I mean? And I think he'll be a good choice at the end of the day. But we don't know. Like it's like you say, it's the Premier League. It's a different ball game over here. You know what I mean? People smash people up over here. Well, we'll see.
Smash people up. Compilations make us think. People are world beaters.
Martinez is gonna be that guy that smashes people up because he's got that kind of personality.
You can tell.
I think, like he's ferocious.
Got a fiery personality. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So hopefully he settles in well because like Varane's always injured and Maguire's just a bit of a
Maguire's Maguire.
Maguire's Maguire, isn't he?
Maguire's captain, mate. Show some respect to your captain.
So seeing as we're talking about,
go on.
I
was saying, at the end of last season, my number one desire, like people saying, I want to sign this player, I want to sign that player. What I wanted when Ten Hag came in was Maguire to be stripped of the captaincy. That's what I wanted more than anything, more than Ronaldo staying. I just think that he could stay. No one's going to buy him. His wages are too high. We spent too much money on him. But just to strip him of the captaincy and just give it to, I was going to say Ronaldo, but he might not stay. Maybe a De Gea, who knows? But that's not happened, and very disappointed in that because I think he's just not that guy, man, to be Man United captain.
Maybe for Man United, Maguire's is too much responsibility. So when you compare him to someone like Xhaka, when he was the captain, he wasn't really performing week in, week out. It is a lot of responsibility. So maybe if the captain was to go away from Maguire and go to another player, possibly he might perform a bit better. It could be a confidence thing as well.
I hope he turns it around and I hope he proves me wrong. Obviously, I want him to because that means he's done well for United. But the thing is, we've got a lack of leaders in the squad anyway. So just say Ronaldo does go, which is looking quite likely. I mean, who else is there? I don't know. Pogba's gone now as well. There's kind of a lack of leaders at the moment. So, and a lot of kind of youngsters as well. So I'm worried about this season, boys.
All right, cool. That leads me on to the next point. Who's going to finish in top 4? I don't even think we should mention the first two, innit? Like City, Liverpool, I think.
Why not?
Yeah, because people have different orders, man. They have different orders, I reckon.
No, all right. So I'm saying in the sense of we know one of them, they're going to be top 2, whichever one.
Yeah, they should be.
Right.
Should be.
Should be. Let's just say, for sakes, they're going to be the top 2. Who's going to be 3rd, 4th? Because obviously we're talking about the issues in our teams and whatever. Tottenham doing business, Chelsea. Who's going to be third or fourth, do you think?
For me, I think City will win it again. No matter I'm not even gonna look at the Charity Shield performance of Haaland because they were. I think he's still getting used to the system, and I think once he gets used to the system, because City don't really have a focal point. They hadn't a focal point before, but now they've got him, and he's one of the best in the world. And he is what I like about Haaland. He's a player that I think will never give up. He will never shy away from the challenge of especially comes to the Premier League, all this reputation, all that. See where it comes with. He's gonna want to prove himself, and I think he will, and that is gonna take City all the way to the title again. Liverpool, I think, will be second. I don't think Darwin Núñez will play as much as people think. Not at the start, anyway. Third, no, I think Arsenal will do it. I do, man. I do.
I think Spurs.
You think Spurs?
Yeah, only reason for that is just they've got too much experience in Son and Kane. Them two world-class athletes, man. They just change the game in any team. But I think Spurs and then possibly Arsenal for fourth. I would say Chelsea up there, but if Chelsea don't sign a number 9, I think they will struggle a little bit. I think that's what's going to come down to because lack of goals. The defense is going to be tight, decent midfield, but lack of goals. But they've been obviously linked to Aubameyang recently. I was reading this morning. I don't know how true that is, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's a toss-up between Arsenal and Spurs for third and fourth. That's it. I don't know which way it's going to go. I think, obviously, as an Arsenal fan, I'm going to pick Arsenal to finish third. But if they finish fourth, I won't be surprised. And I think Spurs got such a good squad. I've never seen Spurs so strong in my entire life. So, and their manager is world class, man. So he's taken them very high already. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Spurs to deliver something this season. And if they finish third, I think that's massive achievement for them. But it's going to be tough, man. There's I think Arsenal are really, I think Arteta's onto something. That's what I just really feel like something's happening there. And I think this season we will be finishing, in the top 4, possibly third, hopefully third.
Amit, can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
So with Arsenal, things are looking good, and I agree, it is looking a lot better. But would you say there's a thin line right now between things being great and things being terrible? Because you did just miss out on fourth. I'm not taking a mick here, but you did just.
No, we did, yeah.
And I think your transfers have been amazing. Like I said, you and Spurs have been the best. But do you think like a bad start? I think Matt said something about maybe up until Christmas, if Arsenal are doing too well, would there maybe be a change? Is there a thin line right now, or are you just buzzing?
In terms of being a change, you think, as in the manager?
Yeah, as in like you guys being happy and you guys being not happy. I mean, like,
I think it's been like that for a long time with Arsenal fans. Like when we win 2-3 games, we're going to win the league, and then when we lose the next game, oh my god, we're the worst team in the world. All that stuff. That's always been a thin line with Arsenal, but that's where the difference is for me this year. I just feel like when we lose a game, it's not a panic anymore. I feel okay, if we lose a game, we probably deserve to lose that game. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I don't know. The thing is, I'm saying this after watching a little bit of All or Nothing that I've been watching. Just came out today. Yeah, it came out.
I'm watching it after this. Straight after.
He knows this out.
Everyone knows this out.
The way, like people love to criticize Arsenal when Arteta saying he's always amateur, all that stuff. But you know what? Watch All or Nothing. Yeah, see how the techniques and the way he manages players one-on-one, and I can see a shift in mentality. That's the same way I felt it's the first time I ever, when I watched the Spurs version, it's the first time I ever actually really saw Mourinho with his man management. And you think, wow, this guy's probably the best man manager there is. And I feel like Arteta has an element of that as well, and an element of Pep. He's been around the game for a long time, watching a lot of great managers, Arsene Wenger, another one. And I've seen a shift of the players, the way they analyze the players individually. That's why I think when we lose, we're going to lose a game now and again. And when we do lose, I'm not going to panic. there's no point in panicking because the players look confident at the moment, and I think the players we've brought in they've come in with a winning mentality. So when you do lose, the next game is brush yourself off and go again. And I think that's what makes me believe that no, that line is becoming blurred now. I don't feel like there's a panic. There's a panic down here and euphoria there. I think it's here. We're there. We're always going to be there until we reach Champions League. Then we can be on like that successful level. Right now, we're sort of in the middle.
No, I agree with that. I feel like for me, the signing of Zinchenko and Jesus, I've always said, you guys know, I've always said, I don't get why players or managers don't sign from within a league. So now you look at it and you think, Jesus did bits at Man City. People can say his goal scoring record wasn't the best, whatever. But he was always, when they played them big Champions League semi-finals, he was always in the team. And I won't lie, Zinchenko, and I said this on one of the previous streams, last season I was a bit like, season before I was a bit like, oh, he's all right. And I watched him last season and I thought, this guy is actually all right. And if you deep it, that Man City Villa game, last game of the season, I think he came on. I can't remember who came on for. And instantly the speed, the stuff that was getting done and was quick. Passing became a bit more incisive. And I think one of their goals, I think the one that Rodri scored, was a pullback from him. So like he's been pivotal to City as well. So I feel like adding them two parts to what Arsenal have, I think makes Arsenal a great team. I'm not going to say we're going to go up there and win the league, but I won't be surprised if we change certain parts, of our mentality. Like, I never expect us to do anything like Etihad. All Arsenal fans would have said, Etihad, Anfield, Old Trafford's like here or there, depends. And Tottenham away, we don't do bits. But I feel like this season's one where I go, you know what? We might be all right. But, you know what I mean? So what about you, Nick? What about Man United?
Well, I did City to win it as well. Liverpool second, but you wouldn't be surprised if it went either way. I've got Spurs finishing third. I think Spurs are going to finish third. I think big season from them. Like I said before, if you've got Kane and Son, you've got that magic as well, as Hasib said. And Conte, great manager. Fourth, I can't decide. I'm in two minds. I mean, I can see Man United finish fourth. I can see them finishing sixth. I think Arsenal are going to get fourth. I think United and Chelsea are going to fight for fifth and sixth if I, think clearly and don't let my heart get involved. But I want United to get fourth. I mean, things have improved. I know it's only been pre-season, but you can see Ten Hag has a plan, and he's playing good football already, and the players are showing signs of improvements. Again, only pre-season, but when you can see those changes, I'm sure you saw that when Arteta comes in playing, more kind of one-touch football, triangle football as well. It's but we still need that midfielder. And is Ronaldo staying or going? If he does go, they're talking about getting one replacement in. I mean, we needed to replace Cavani. If Cavani goes, which is gone, Cavani's gone. If Ronaldo goes, should we technically get two forwards? I mean, but the Glazers are. We'll see. I mean, they're a strange bunch, and they don't really manage the team well. So I've got no faith in us getting a striker in or a top quality. But they're talking about maybe Sesko, I think his name is. I'll be honest, don't know much about him.
Nope.
I've heard decent things. I'm not going to say, I'm a pro after watching him on YouTube for half an hour. Do you know what I mean? But he's looking like he could be a replacement. But still, we need another one, especially if Ronaldo stays. Sesko's enough. But I think Arsenal fourth. And if Chelsea, as you were saying, if Chelsea don't get that number 9, I think we'll finish fifth.
No, I agree.
It's difficult to get top four now. It's difficult. And I can see Arsenal getting third as well. You know what?
I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I just feel as well, like with Spurs, great team and everything. I think Champions League is going to make a big difference. I feel like, let's remember last season, they went out of the conference early. I think, was it the match didn't happen or they got knocked out, something to do with COVID or something like that?
Yeah.
Rennes against Rennes.
I think they had to forfeit.
Forfeit the game, wasn't it? Yeah, 3-0. So I feel like Champions League, listen, it's going to make a big, big difference. Obviously, the same way it does with Arsenal Europa. But we know Europa, you get the Dundalks and the Mulder and them team. You just play, how Arsenal play and catch it up top. Whoever, you know what I mean? That's just how it works.
Like the little boys, isn't it?
The little man, you know what I mean? But no, I just feel, I feel like it's going to be a great season. We know the top two, but like Nick was saying, you really couldn't pick. You wouldn't be surprised if United get into third at some point. You're like, right, well, what's going on? So it's going to be a bit mad. And we're forgetting World Cup. So
Yeah, that's mad.
that
Right in the
throws
middle of
off
the season.
everything.
Madness.
Come game 10, you're like, yeah, we're fourth. World Cup happens now. Your main guy gets injured. You're like, wait, there's still another 28 games left. Like, it's
crazy.
mad. It's going to be insane. But yeah, no, it's going to be a great top four battle, which takes me to the other end of the table. Who goes down? I think straight away, I'm going to say it. I think Nottingham Forest are going. I see it. I know they're signing players, but I'm never fooled by teams that go hand in the transfer window when they first come up.
Yeah.
Fulham did it.
Yeah,
Remember that?
I was gonna say, like, along with Nottingham Forest, I think Fulham is another one.
Yeah, I think
they're finding too many players.
Too many.
They did it last time. Don't they learn from their mistakes from last time?
I think they're gone. And there was who else come up last season?
Bournemouth.
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
Bournemouth, yeah.
I won't be surprised, guys, if all three are gone again. No, I'm serious. No, because I think Bournemouth, they play. I don't know if you guys watch Championship, but they play like proper one-touch passing and all of that. You know what I mean? And they've, I think they had Danjuma. Danjuma, who won to Villarreal, whatever. But I just feel, I feel they're gonna go. I feel like when you come to this league, you kind of have to change up how you play. You can't think you're gonna come here and spray ball like you were down there. You might win in certain games. But yeah, I think they're gone.
What the sort of current Premier League teams you think, like from last season, are in danger this time round?
Everton.
Yeah.
Everton,
yeah.
How
can you say that?
How they are getting away with it, I do not know. Like, seriously, I think that's it. I feel like they're at a point where I think the fans know as well. You look at the transfer window, they're struggling. But the surprise package for me, who I think they won't get relegated, but I think will really struggle, Leicester,
Because of the outgoings. Well,
I think
I think
I was going to say that as well. Leicester, they've made no signings.
They haven't signed no one.
None.
That's a problem.
And Casper went. That for me, I don't know about you, but I was shocked. I sat there, I went,
That was out the blue, Matt. That was out the blue. That was out the blue.
He's 35 years old. That's what I was talking about.
I don't trust me. I still thought I was 27, 28.
He's been young forever. All of a sudden, bam, 35.
And have you seen who his teammate's going to be? He's going to be with Aaron Ramsey.
Yeah.
I was like, what? This is what I mean about football. It's just mad. Absolutely insane. But yeah, I think they're going to be one.
I think that, you know what? You say that. And I do agree with you somewhat but their squad is good. They had a lot of injuries last year. They had a lot of injuries, man. So if they can stay fit, and then but to be fair, they do need to sign a little bit, because if they lose potentially Tielemans, if they lose potentially Maddison, that's a lot.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's a lot. That's the majority of their attacking threat. And
the spine's gone. The spine's gone if they lose both those players.
Yeah, they're 100%. Losing leaders.
Yes,
exactly. Not just anyone. They need to lose, what's his name? The guy that comes on randomly. Hamza Chowdhury. Yeah, wow.
Listen. That's about Hamza, bro. He's back in the Asian, bro.
No, like when I see him come, when I look at him, technically he looks neat. But you know them players where they look neat, but you think this is not your level, bro.
No, he's not made for the league. He's not made for the league. He's the tick box exercise.
But yeah, what do you think, Hass?
Who's going to go down?
Yeah, who do you think will go down?
I think 100% Nottingham Forest after signing Jay Lings.
Oh, was that one?
I think I can't do it because I'm holding my phone, but I'm just doing that anyway. Nottingham Forest. What do you guys think of Leeds? Do you think they're going to struggle? Or?
I don't think they're going to go down. They spent like 100 million, haven't they? I mean, it could go wrong, but I think they're going to be safe.
That'll be nothing these days, man. That's the problem.
Yeah, I know, but at least they're trying to fill the gaps and trying to kind of up their quality. I think they're going to be maybe a few positions above the relegation, personally.
I just think there's worse teams than them.
Yeah.
I look at Nottingham. It's like normally you see a team come up and you think, oh, they've added a couple of players. It's like, remember when West Brom used to come up? You knew they were going. Like, it didn't matter who they signed. And they were signing a random man like, oh, Snodgrass has gone there. You're like, okay, who else you got? And then the Hegazi and all of that. And I was like, you know what? Take them back already. You know what I mean? They're nonsense teams. But no, I feel Nottingham Forest. I think Fulham. I just think, like you were saying, I think Fulham, they're going to try and play ball. It's not going to work. hopefully, listen, Leno's there, so I hope things go kind of alright.
He's going to be overworked, boy.
Oh, big time. FPL tips for anyone. Shots on target. Put Leno in goal. Yeah, you heard it here first. But yeah, I think
it might be a surprise.
I trust me, innit? But no, I think those teams will go down. So yeah, and I've got an interesting one for you lot now. Now, who do you think will be player of the year?
Harry Kane. Big season from Spurs. Like I said before, big season from Spurs. I feel like Conte as well. He's a great manager. I wanted him at United when Ollie first left, and he was somewhat available, but they stuck with Ollie, so I was a bit gutted about that. But I'm happy with Ten Hag. But I think Kane he's that rounded player. He scores a lot. He assists a lot. He's obviously a captain. He's a leader. He's desperate as well, isn't he, for a trophy? I mean, you boys, that would make you boys smile on it because it's Tottenham, innit? But I can see a big, and I think it's maybe a season too early for Haaland because I can't remember one of you boys said that he's like, just settling in and he's, had the best preseason, but he's, they're playing a different way, as you said, and he's the focal point now. So I mean, you got your Salahs and stuff as well, but I'm going to put my money on Harry Kane to be the man.
No, good shout. I'm not against it at all. Really not against it. I'm not sure if the Arsenal fans are gonna say the same. Amit, are you thinking?
Player of the year in the Premier League, I think we're gonna see a very special Luis Diaz this year.
Okay.
I think now that Mane is gone, even though they signed Darwin, Diaz is gonna go straight in. I think he's gonna be. I think they needed that. He's gonna. It's not like he didn't do anything last year, but when he did come, he's only there for what? He signed in January. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Right. So in that small period of time, look at the massive impact he made. Right.
Yeah.
Imagine that he's got a full preseason under him now. He is fully settled. I think he's going to be dangerous. And
is he in your FPL team?
I think he's with every FPL team, man. 8 million, isn't it? Bargain. Can't go wrong.
It depends what type of FPL player you are. There's middle and there's elite, the higher level ones. I don't put Diaz.
No, I don't have Diaz. But I was racking my brains about it. Here's a good shout. I was racking my brains about it. I think Liverpool and Diaz, they're gonna play really well. I think they need to help Darwin, right? They gotta help Darwin, and I think someone like Diaz can probably help him settle. Coming from the Portuguese league to the Premier League, he'll know the different. He'll know how the Premier League, how different it is, and he can help Darwin settle. And best way to help someone settle is by assisting with goals, man. Yes. And then as soon as Darwin starts getting those goals after being assisted by Salah and Diaz, boy, it's gonna be a dangerous run for you. But I think overall, Diaz is gonna be.
I need to note these down so we can come back to them at the end of the season, boys, and see how wrong we were. You know what I mean? What about you, Hass?
I think I'm with Nick. Injury-free Kane by a mile. He's just too good, man. World class, different level. Injury-free, that is. But again, it's so tight. You've got Salah, you've got Jesus as well for Arsenal. I think he could get quite a few goals in preseason. Very, very strong in preseason. Good link-up play as well, so he could do pretty well. But I think injury-free Harry Kane all day long. But if he does get injured, then it goes to Salah.
So Kane stroke Salah for Hass. Nick, okay. Nick. I think Haaland. I just feel that miss in that Community Shield is kind of like afterwards, because we know they know what's going on social media. Everyone was all like, oh, how can he miss that? He's come from this league. Oh, he's going to be a flop. And I just think it's one of them with him where it's like, all right, cool. I wouldn't be surprised if now against West Ham, it gets a double. And everyone's like, yo, like, look at him now. I think he's going to rip it up. I honestly believe he's going to rip up this season.
We know like football fans are fickle and they have short memories.
Yeah.
As soon as Haaland starts scoring goals, that Community Shield miss, fully forgotten. I was going to forget about it. Who cares about that after that? No, you know what I mean? When he starts banging goals, and he will. Come on, let's be serious. He's gonna bang in goals at least 10, at least 15 goals this year.
What do you
But
boys
no,
think is going to be Arsenal's player of the year?
Jesus.
Yeah, by
Is
a
it that
mile.
obvious? That obvious,
Yeah.
you reckon?
I think so.
Saka's won it last 2 seasons.
Maybe a bit of Ramsdale?
I do like Ramsdale, man. I do like Ramsdale, but I think in order for a Ramsdale, a keeper to win it, he's got to be saving the team from
Like De
a
Gea did
lot.
last season.
De Gea does a lot, and he wins. How many times has he
Yeah.
played the season for you guys? Loads of times.
Yeah.
3 times now.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot for a keeper.
Yeah.
But
Man.
I
At
expect
United
my
as well, which
goal
should be a
scoring
team that's always
talisman to
attacking.
win it.
Yeah.
So I think Jesus will get it in front of Saka faster.
See, we just want to touch on something, and I'm not gloating, yeah, but Nick, you probably know, maybe Amit, like, remember when I was back in the Ramsdale thing ages ago? Nick remembers. I said, listen,
Yeah. I was baffled when you signed him, man. I'll be honest, because he seemed to be letting a lot of goals at Bournemouth, and I was like, what? But yeah, Matt was behind him from day one, so I was proved wrong. I love him. I love his passion. I love his passion.
And I feel like that's what Arsenal really missed. Remember back in the day, you had the Adams, Seaman, Keown. Like, we lacked that for a long time. And, when we lost Seaman, I'm not even going to list the goalkeepers we had because, man, we had some absolute donkeys in goal. Yeah. Just to name a few before we move on. Rami Shaban. Yeah.
Hey, he's a legend, man.
Remember the Mark Poom, random one.
Mark
Poom. And the Champions League final flop for us.
Almunia.
Oh, man. Actually, I'm not going to dwell on it because that's going to stress me out.
Yeah.
I've got another one, This is something that I think Amit was mentioning earlier. No one really did. So a player that we've done player of the year, a player, let's say surprise player. Like a player that's going to, end of the season, you're going to look back and go, man, this guy was like amazing. Like when no one's really backing. Who would you say? Could be from your team, any team.
I think a player that's going to step up massively this season, and we're going to think, okay, now he's here, is Jack Grealish. I think Jack Grealish, like last season when after City won it, they were like, oh yeah, congratulations, you won, but you didn't really contribute that much. After £100 million move, you expected something, right? And now he's at a year of integration now. He's got a goal machine up top. I expect big things from Jack Grealish because listen, with the way City play and the amount of attacking threat they have, he has to deliver something because you can't be. I'm sorry. I don't really want to, go on just based on price tags. But you know what? You don't pay £100 million for an average player. Do you know what I'm saying? He was something at Villa. He was their main man, and when they signed him, I expected to bring some of that to City. He didn't last season. Maybe little tiny glimpses, maybe, but I'm telling you, he's gonna be the guy at City. He's gonna be so good. I can just see it.
Man said, "I'm telling you." So, boy,
I'm telling you now.
Everyone watching this, they're gonna remember this. I'm telling you. So, at this season, they'll be like, "What did he tell us?" I agree. I think that he will have a decent season. I think so. I think I kind of know who Nick's gonna say, but I'm gonna go.
Oh, really? No, go on, tell me.
No, go on. Don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Well, if I'm being honest, I think it might be Pepe in it. No, I'm just joking, boys. I'm just joking. Look at that dead look from Matt. Look at that dead look from Matt. My boy Jadon Sancho, man. I think it's time for him to step up. He had a really good preseason. He was probably Martial was really good as well, but in preseason. But I think Sancho was quality. Scored a couple, assisted a couple. He had a good period mid to end last season, quite at the start, as you boys know. I think Sancho is going to be our best player. And yeah, I think if he stays fit, scoring, assisting galore, he seems to be, linking up well with Martial and Rashford. But I'm just hearing that Martial's tweaked his ligament. Apparently, he might miss the first game of the season. So if you've got him in your team, take him out. But so that doesn't help us. But I think Sancho is going to be really, really good for us, and I want him to be. You can see the qualities there, man. The quality is most definitely there. I mean, you boys know that. We take the mick out of each other with Pepe and Sancho. Like me and Matt had a bet last season, well, a friendly bet that who would score more goals at the both of them. And to be fair, I know Sancho scored more, but they were both poor overall, weren't they? So I think Sancho's going to step up.
You both
well,
lost.
no, technically I won.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Look at him. He had to get that in there, innit? What about UFC? What do you say?
Yeah.
I think Arsenal, from Arsenal's perspective, I think generally Saliba. I think once he gets the opportunity, listen, there's a 150 million pound player in him, solid preseason, solid, powerful, reads the game really well, and I think he wants to prove himself as well. Maybe like Grealish as well, wants to prove himself to Arteta, and I think, yeah, man, I can't wait to see him, and I really hope he gets game time week in, week out. So yeah, Saliba for me, man.
So we're saying Saliba, them ones, I can just picture it now. Tomorrow at Selhurst, like the ball bounces, man looks at it, misses it, goes over and memes galore. Yeah. Nah, do you know what? It's weird. That's who I'm backing. Even my previous stream, I said as well. Like, you know a good player when you see one. Like fans are saying, "Oh, if he was that good, why were you sent him on loan and this and that, this and that." I don't really feel like he would have got game time last season, and I feel the whole Marseille move was amazing for him. Like, I feel he got to play Europa. He played against great players, and I think a big moment for him was that Mbappe tackle. Like, for anyone that hasn't seen it, you've got to go and click and watch that. And I watched it in slow-mo, zoom as well, and you just see Mbappe just trying to zoom on, and Saliba's galloping, slides him, and I went, okay. No, because you know what? If you look at Arsenal defence, they are good. I feel Gabriel has moments, though, where it's like, what are
against
you doing?
City, he lost it.
City,
Against City, remember?
lost it. You're already on the yellow. Just chill. Help us out here. But no, we lost it. So I feel like having Saliba, I think Saliba, even though they've kind of played the same league, I think Gabriel was with Lille. I think Saliba's kind of the one that looks a bit more assured. And I think it's kind of works because we've had Ben White at right back and he's looked all right in pre-season. So maybe we've stumbled upon something. I know Tommy's still around somewhere. But yeah, I feel like, Saliba player of the year. And I put Manek on the line in the previous one and I said, he will be in team of the year. Yeah. And I won't be surprised if people are going, Arsenal's Van Dijk. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. I said it. Right? I'm backing my guy.
Big words.
I said it. But yeah, listen,
it's out there now. It's out there now.
It is what it is. But you got to own what you say. You know what I'm saying? 100%. So I'm with that. I own that. Now I just come up with a random one to wrap it up. Something I thought, you know what, let's add this little twist. First manager to get sacked.
I'll go first.
Oh man, at least
Frank Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Oh yeah, Lampard.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm trying to think who have Everton signed this summer. I know they're in the market for a few players, but they signed James Tarkowski is a decent signing.
That's just a mare signing.
He's a proper like
Michael Keane like, isn't it?
yeah, exactly. Proper like Burnley signing.
Dwight McNeil as well for 20 million from Burnley, and Ruben Vinagre from Sport Lisbon. So they didn't really buy much.
He's on loan, and they got Dwight McNeil. And see, these are all signings that I think are dead signings. Like, if you want to improve your team, you got £60 million from Richarlison sale, right? And it's not like he doesn't have links to Chelsea. Go and loan some players. Go and do that. Go to your old club and say, let me get this guy. Like, look at Arteta, how he's using Man City. The relationship he had at Man City, he's using it to his advantage. Believe me, if Arteta didn't have that relationship with Man City, you think we would have got Jesus? You think we would have got Zinchenko? I don't think so. But Lampard, listen, people are always going to compare Lampard, Gerrard, managerial-wise as well now, yeah? I look at Gerrard and I just feel like the players listen to him. He knows what he's doing. And he looks like a Premier League manager. Lampard, on the other hand, I think he's out of his depth, man, to be honest with you. And then it doesn't help that Everton are shipping out their best players and then he's not signing good replacements. So listen, I did say Everton are going to be one of the teams that potentially could be in a relegation battle, and that will be the case until Lampard gets sacked. And I think Lampard will be the first manager to go because the squad just not good enough, man. That's it. I mean, they're in pre-season. I think they lost to, I want to say Charlotte. I'm not sure.
It was, I think Charlotte, and they were mocking them on Twitter or something like
that.
4-0. Yeah. No, not Charlotte. I think Minnesota. I think
Minnesota. Sorry, pardon me. But look, man, you're representing the Premier League when you go out there. Yeah, with the elite Premier League, right? And when you go out there and you get, I don't care what squad he put out. I don't care. right?
Yeah,
You don't
true.
get battered like that. You don't.
True.
I'll sack him. I'll sack him after a preseason game. You're crazy. Come here, embarrassing us.
It's
It was a
true.
4-0, wasn't it?
4-0.
It's for
Come
the-
on, Nick. Come on, man. You can't be losing like that. In
And they've
America.
just lost Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin's injured, I'm hearing as well. He got
See?
injured and lost.
Okay, remember when Leeds lost Bamford? Their only
Yes,
outlet.
that's the type of season.
Similar
Yeah, you're right.
situation they've got there now, and
Mm.
they need to sign good replacements. Like, I don't even think Richarlison was a great player, but he was decent for them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So, but and if you lose him and you use Dwight McNeil, I think he had one assist all season last year. Yeah, okay, good mate. That's a great upgrade. It's not. You're asking for trouble, and I don't want to hear he's not back because I think they've got money. Everton, they've got money as well. You need to go and sign some players quickly because the season is here. I mean, you start losing games quickly, momentum sets in, and you got that. All the players will be down in the dumps before you know it. They're out of it. Now, from what I'm reading just now, they've agreed. They've matched West Ham's offer for that Onana.
I'm surprised he even wants to go to Everton.
33
Like,
million.
that baffles me.
It was not a big club.
Big
but-
wages, bro.
Yeah,
Big
maybe,
wages.
maybe.
Big wages. That's it.
Yeah.
But West
You-
Ham should get him. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys agree, Hassan, Nick? You thinking Lampard as well?
100%, man. 100%. Everton, this is the first time ever, bro. Like, with confidence. Like, this is the first time ever. I think the other thing is financially, normally you see Everton being quite active in the market, spending a lot of money. But they just end up buying a lot of nonsense, if that makes sense.
Mm.
And this is the first time they're not buying anyone. And yeah, I just don't think Lampard done well to get them across the finishing line to obviously not get relegated. But yeah, I just don't think the squad's strong enough. It's a bit of a shame because obviously it's a historical club, been in the Premier League as well for years. But yeah, I think Lampard just out of his depth, man. He's just not managerial material, in my opinion, anyway.
You as well, Nick?
Yeah, I think the obvious one is Lampard, isn't it? But I think with how Leicester are going, Rodgers could be maybe number 2 or number 3 on that list.
Sure.
But they've got good owners, isn't it? And the players and past managers have already spoken about how much of a good relationship they have with the owners. So would Rodgers maybe just leave off his own accord if he's not getting? Because he's a very good manager. If they're selling all their big players and they're not getting anyone in, Rodgers might get sacked because they won't do well. He might turn around and say, "I'm better than this," and leaves. I think Lampard, Rodgers, and if Newcastle don't start well because they've got the money and they've spent the money, but they've been spending the money, Eddie Howe could be that guy as well. I mean, maybe not, but they've got their richest club in the world now, so their owners would probably be pretty ruthless. I think if they get around mid-table this season, he'll probably get left alone. But if they're doing what they did last season, 16th, 17th for a lot of the season, 18th, maybe he could be one of them as well.
That's a good shout. I was thinking as well, like if Matthew would say Lampard, I think there'll be certain games where that they might pull out the bag. And like Eddie Howe, I think that's the one where for me I feel like there's more pressure. I feel like you said, Leicester, good owners, you lose a couple of games, the owners will be like, what Rodgers has done for us, we can, go for it. I just feel like with Newcastle, the fans are like, nah, we've got money now. I want better. Like, I think come January or after World Cup, let's say they're languishing the 13th, 14th, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Newcastle signings, and then there's still Newcastle type signings from before. Yeah.
Is there a reason why they haven't gone ham? Because I've been trying to think.
To me, I don't think they're that appealing at the moment. I think once the project has become a bit more established, I think they'll be able to attract better players. But I think for now, they're coming from like a bottom half sort of club, and I think if they manage to somehow get into even the Conference League this year, I think that's when they'll kick on. But I don't think we're going to see the proper Newcastle for a good 3 or 4 years. Because you can either throw money at the players and they won't be committed. Right? That's the risk. But like when they signed Bruno, I'm like, okay, cool.
Who have they signed?
They signed
They got Pope, innit? They got Pope, didn't they?
Pope.
Yeah.
Pope's
a very good signing.
Sven Botman, that's centre back.
Botman's
solid signings, to be fair. Solid.
They're solid, but they're still Newcastle type signings.
Yeah,
it's true.
All the money, you know what I mean? So they could have pulled them off before. But I think now, they're going for all the names that everyone else is after.
Yeah.
They're in the mix. They're always going to be in the mix because of the money. But generally, I don't think they've got the real pull when it comes to. I don't think Eddie Howe really has that pull for these.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
it's all English players, yeah, they'll come because they know Eddie Howe. He's a good young manager. But if they had a bigger name in the hot seat, I think they will attract more players. But for now, I think they'll be happy if they finish in the top half of the table. You know, I think it's slow. It's baby steps. I don't think they should rush it.
No, I agree with that. I feel the thing with them, they'll do what they do, beat certain teams at home. You know what I mean? Callum Wilson come back from injury, gets his hat trick as he does, then he's gone again. Like with Newcastle, you can just read the script. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think it's baby steps. I think next season, aim for conference. Conference is still big for them. You know what I mean? It's still a route into Europe. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I agree with that, man.
But they've got for me, like they shouldn't have any problem retaining players because they can offer them lots of money, sell them the project. But players like Sam Maximan, where he was there before the money came, and if he's not convinced by the project, because look, the careers are short of players. Like he can't afford to wait 3 or 4 years for the project to kick on. Do you know what I mean? If a decent offer came in for him, let's say, I don't know, just off my head, 45 mil or something like this, and he says he wants to go, because I think they should let him go. That's my opinion. But for now, like the project is still right at the start. Right at the start. They need stability in the league first before they start. Or buy players from your direct rivals from around you. That's what they need to do. Once they do that, then they can possibly kick onto Europe, and then they can look at European players and then go on from there. But for now, listen, I don't think Eddie Howe's in any danger because I don't think the pressure is that much. Because he hasn't spent crazy money yet.
Yeah, good shout. Nah, so lastly, this wasn't even a question because for those that don't know, we are big FPL lovers, guys. Yes, look at the smile in your faces. Just wanna make sure you guys done your teams. That's what I'm gonna ask before I wrap this up. Because I don't want to hear no excuses. Because we know about me on FPL. We know about me, right?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I mean, Matt's gave me a lot of advice because I've done okay over the seasons and I've improved. I usually start well, don't I? And then I kind of, as the season goes on, I kind of trickle down. But I still finish top half all the time. But I gave Matt my team a couple of days ago and I said, look, this is my draft. And he said, maybe you could change this player and that player for maybe him and him. So I made a couple of changes. But no, I reckon I'm definitely going to finish above Amit. No, I'm joking. No,
Have you seen my team?
No. You know what? I'm joking, man. I'll be happy with top half. And you know what? I'm glad it's not head-to-head this year, man, because
I might head-to-head. But look, I do like the overall points. Because
it's just less stressful, man.
You
can get 8 points and you'd think, okay, that's a great week. But then you lose to someone who gets 81 points. That ruins your weekend, bro. And you shouldn't be annoyed over because you've had a great week. So to get that out of the way is, I'm about. But yeah. What about you, Matt? What are you saying? You going to finally win it this year or what? Because you keep saying you're going to win it. But you're getting close.
For those of you watching this, I win leagues. Don't listen to what he's saying, right?
No, he's won.
I do my bit. You know, I want exactly.
What about the league? The league.
I'll win that league. But all I'll say, is listen. This season, I'm ready. Yeah, my team's set. I showed Amit my team. Trust me, my team's ready. Listen. It's not
the team I'd choose, isn't it? Obviously, but
I'll put in work. You know what I mean? So now your team's hard. What I want to do, one thing, obviously, we won't do it today, but going forward, we're going to put up a little draft, like show our teams here and there. Because I want people to because there's going to be people watching this that play FPL. So I want people to kind of be like, you know what, see the team. Because I want them to laugh. They need to back up. We need to see who's really good. Because we're all here chatting about how good our team is. We'll see. And Hass is not here to talk about his. Because he's the biggest gasser I know.
He knew, innit? He knew. He bounced.
He knew this point was coming, saying cut off. You know what I mean? But for sure, though. I'm going to do make sure probably next week or so we'll chap that one in. We'll try and get some drafts up.
Yeah.
But boys, listen. Love for being on. You know, I loved it. Listen, I've noted down some of them points here, so just know people are coming for your next. You know,
I'm confident, like you, man. I'm confident. I say what
I'm only confident in Saliba. That's it. Yeah, only in Saliba.
I'm cool with that.
Guy said. I hope maybe he's watching this. He'll be like, he's my biggest fan. I don't know, man. Maybe.
Yeah. We'll give you something.
But listen, boys, love. Yeah, appreciate it. Definitely touch base again. Do another one.
Yep.
Cheers.
Tomorrow.
Come on,
you Gunners.
Come on, Arsenal.
Come on, Palace.